21 Ways to Improve Emotional Intelligence. Emotional intelligence is experiencing a resurgence. The concept that we can develop the ability to identify, understand, and manage emotions has been around for a while. It wasn't long before journalist and psychologist Daniel Goleman struck gold with his worldwide blockbuster book, Emotional Intelligence: Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. EQ matters. If you want to step up to managing others, no amount of IQ or tech skills will compensate for a lack of emotional intelligence. How can you boost your EQ? Here are 15 steps you can take. Welcome to Wisdom Box. At the Wisdom Box we are going to learn some tools and techniques to improve our skills. 1. Keep a journal. Reflect on the day's events. What went well? What didn't go so well? What have you learned? Reread your journal over time to spot common themes and patterns. Carve out some time this week to answer a few of the following questions. Then, ask them of someone you trust. How do my moods affect my thoughts and decision-making? How would you describe my communication style, and its effect on others? What traits in others bother me? Why? Do I find it difficult to admit when I'm wrong? Why or why not? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? Think deeply about the answers, using them to better understand yourself and your emotions. 2. Use your emotional vocabulary. When a doctor tries to diagnose a problem, he or she will ask you to describe the pain you're feeling. They might ask you to use words like sharp, dull, burning, shooting, aching, cramping, gnawing, heavy, splitting, stabbing, nauseating, throbbing, and tender. The more specific you get, the easier for your doctor to diagnose the problem and prescribe proper treatment. It works similarly with your emotions. By using specific words to describe your feelings, it's easier to get to their root cause, enabling you to better deal with them. So, the next time you experience a strong emotional reaction, take time afterward to process not only what you're feeling, but also why. Try to put your feelings into words, then, determine what you want to do about the situation. 3. Pause and reflect. If you feel yourself beginning to respond emotionally to a situation, take a pause. If possible, go for a short walk. Once you've had the chance to calm down, come back and decide how you want to move forward. 4. Explore alternatives. When we develop self-regulation, we're acting on our self-awareness to master our emotions, rather than letting them master us, which is called emotional hijack in EQ speak. So for some of us, self-regulation may mean overcoming self-doubt and speaking up in meetings. For others it may be noticing we don't agree with a speaker's point, but nevertheless hearing them out. 5. Adjust your volume when you communicate. Your conversation partner will often react in the same style or tone you choose. If you speak in a calm, rational voice, they'll respond similarly. Yell or scream, and they start yelling and screaming, too. If a discussion begins to escalate, focus your efforts on dialing it back, by softening your tone or even lowering your voice. You'll be surprised at how your partner follows your lead. 6. Think before addressing sensitive topics. Before revisiting a touchy topic, give careful thought as to where and when to speak, with the goal of having a calm and rational discussion. It's also important to consider how you will reintroduce the subject. For example, opening with an apology, with an expression of gratitude, or by acknowledging where you and your communication partner agree may lead the other person to lower his or her guard and become more open to what you have to say. 7. Dial up and down. As you become more self-aware, you'll identify the emotions you want to bring to particular situations, such as enthusiasm, compassion, or humility. You'll also notice the emotions that need to be dialed down for a successful outcome. Take some slow, deep breaths. Close your eyes when it's safe to do so. If you want to ensure you head off a hijack and stay in the here and now, you might try grounding exercises, for example focusing all your attention on what you can see, hear, feel, taste and smell, right here, right now. 8. Fast forward. If emotion is clouding your judgment, take a moment to fast forward and consider the consequences of your actions, both short and long-term. Doing so can help you achieve clarity of mind and make sound decisions that you're proud of. 9. Learn from negative emotions. If you find yourself struggling with negative emotions, ask yourself, what is this feeling telling me? Can I use this emotion to motivate me to make a change? An emotional hijack is a situation in which you completely lose control of your emotions. Often, it's a series of circumstances or events that culminates in an action that pushes you over the edge. When you experience an emotional hijack, try to examine what happened by asking yourself, why did I react the way I did? What would I change if I could do it again? What could I say to myself next time that would help me think more clearly? Once you begin to understand why you reacted the way you did, you can train your default reaction so you respond differently next time. 10. Learn to say no. It's great to be kind and helpful to others, but you have your limits. If you say yes to every request for your time and energy, you put yourself on the path to burnout, and remember, every time you say yes to something you don't really want, you're actually saying no to the things you do want. 11. Ask for feedback. Get specific. For example, authors Sheila Heen and Douglas Stone advise asking your manager or a trusted colleague, what's one thing you see me doing or failing to do that holds me back? Feedback always helps us to work on improvement areas. 12. Turn criticism into constructive feedback. When you receive criticism, resist the urge to take it personally. Instead, focus on answering two questions, putting my personal feelings aside, what can I learn from this alternate perspective? How can I use this feedback to help me improve? Remember that most criticism is rooted in truth. And even when it isn't, it gives you a valuable window into the perspective of others. 13. Walk in their shoes. Taking another's perspective can be revelatory and sometimes uncomfortable, when we look back at how we've behaved towards them. Look at the situation from their point of view and notice their feelings. It will give you a different perspective to same problem. 14. Commend others. For 1 month, schedule 20 minutes a week to reflect on what you appreciate about someone important to you. It could be your significant other or another member of your family, a friend, a business partner, or a colleague. Then, take a moment to write this person a short note, give them a call, or go see them in person. Tell them specifically how they help you or what you value about them. Don't address any other topics or problems, just show some love. 15. Show a genuine interest in the people you lead. An emotionally intelligent leader not only learns names of everyone who works in their company but finds out as much about his or her staff as possible. He or she finds out what is important to them, their families, hobbies, and special interests. Showing an interest in the personal lives of staff delivers the feeling they are valued as people, instead of cogs in a machine. One manager went as far as keeping short files of personal information on details important in the lives of all staff to help him remember. When he knew he would be talking to them, he would quickly go over the file, then ask them about something that had meaning. They were often totally amazed at how he could remember so much about a large number of staff in his ranks. 16. Learn to say sorry. There are probably no two words harder to say than the following, I'm sorry. But by learning to acknowledge your mistakes and apologize when appropriate, you'll develop qualities like humility and authenticity, naturally drawing others to you. Additionally, remember that apologizing isn't always about right and wrong, it's about valuing your relationships more than your ego. 17. Forgive. Although forgiveness brings many benefits, particularly to the forgiver, to forgive is not always easy. Refusing to forgive is like leaving a knife in a wound you never give yourself the chance to heal. Instead of hanging on to resentment while the offending party moves on with life, forgiving gives you the chance to move on, too. 18. Practice empathy. When a person tells you about a personal struggle, listen carefully. Resist the urge to judge the person or situation, to interrupt and share your personal experience, or to propose a solution. Instead, focus on understanding the how and why, how the person feels, and why he or she feels that way. Then, ask yourself, when have I felt similar to what this person has described? Once you have a better understanding of how the person feels, try to relate to their feelings. 19. Be honest. Being authentic means sharing your true thoughts and feelings with others, realizing that not everyone will agree with you, and being okay with that. But honesty must be practiced with respect if you want to gain the respect of others. Authenticity doesn't mean sharing everything about yourself, with everyone, all of the time. It does mean saying what you mean, meaning what you say, and sticking to your values and principles above all else. 20. Control your thoughts. When you experience a negative situation, it's difficult to control your feelings. But when you focus on your thoughts, you can control your reactions to those feelings. Don't try to ignore your feelings, instead, acknowledge them. Then, move forward in a way that's in harmony with your goals and values. 21. Bounce back from adversity. Everyone encounters challenges. It's how you react to these challenges that either sets you up for success or puts you on the track to full-on meltdown mode. You already know that positive thinking will take you far. To help you bounce back from adversity, practice optimism instead of complaining. What can you learn from this situation? Ask constructive questions to see what you can take away from the challenge at hand. Do not forget to like and subscribe to our channel, if you like this video. At Wisdom Box, we are committed to making you learn life skills to make you a better person. Please feel free to share it with your loved ones if you liked it.